morning, everyone. Welcome to another Wednesday video with Creative Stamping with Marg. I'm Marg. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from St. Albert, Alberta, Canada. Today we are going to do a fun fold card that I featured in my last class. So I'll share that with you, and I have lots of news on my desk from Stampin' Up! So let's go down and have a look. All right. There you can see the top of my desk and all the things that I need to talk about. The first thing, the album retreat starts today. If you hadn't registered for it or purchased it, you can still purchase it. The number is 168051, and it is the virtual album retreat that's going on today, tomorrow, and May 1st. And lots of scrapbooking pages to be done. You get an exclusive stamp set, and designer series paper, embellishments, thread, and you will be making 20 scrapbook pages with this one. So that was a great one to register for. Still available if you want it. All right. The product of the month. I'm going to go backwards here. This was the product of the month for February, and it is still available, the Painted Illusions paper. I've used it and I talked about it week after week. So if you hadn't got it, it's available for purchase for $5 once you've spent $100. That was February's product of the month. March's product of the month was Notes of Spring. It is also still available. Again, another $100 order, and you would pay $5. This is April's product of the month, the Eyelet Blooms die. Again, a $100 order, and you are able to purchase this for $5. Now, the new product of the month coming for May, so it will be May the 5th, I think, is when it comes out. It will go up to $7 because I don't know in the beginning, if you remember me talking about the product of the month, they made an error in the mini catalog and they listed the Canadian product of the month as $5. It should have been $7, but they honored that for all these months. So unfortunately, as of May, it will go up to $7 when you spend $100. Okay, we'll see that one at the beginning of May. The paper pumpkin for May is Sparkling Celebrations. There's the picture there. It looks like lanterns. It says it's celebratory cards perfect for invitations, congratulations, and special occasions. Makes 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs. And your classic stamp spot is Misty Moonlight. Then the dies that went with April, May, and June's paper pumpkins are called Wonderful Scenes Dies Add-ons. And that's what they look like there, $18, and the number is 168665 if you're interested in those. All right, and there's the front of our Stampin' Up! Catalog, which I can't show you the inside of yet because it doesn't go live until May the 5th. But if you're interested in getting your hands on a paper copy, you can let me know, and I will make sure that you get one. This catalog is running from May to August. This is they're now replacing our annual catalog with 3 catalogs throughout the year. So this one runs May 5th to August. And just so you know, prices are increasing in this catalog in a lot of areas, mostly adhesives, envelopes, sort of your staples. So you might want to order some of those things. We only have a couple more days left in April to do that before this comes out. All right. This is a paper card. I shouldn't call it a card class. They're calling it a craft class. They're using the paper mixer paper, and it is going to be May 21st at 2. So this is, again, something that you purchase, and they send you all the details in an email, and then you can join them via a Zoom kind of class. And there's lots of details on that. If you want more details, it's online, and you can look at the supplies that they're requesting that you need, and the price of the class, I think, is $41. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. Please check the last chance list. There's still lots of things on it, and I am going to be using one thing today that's on the last chance list that I'll share with you. And I think I've covered all the business news. Today we are using the colors Daffodil Delight and Lemon Lolly. The card, I'm going to do this kind of backwards. Normally I have a sample card to show you that's made out of retired product, and then I do the live one with you with product that we have already. This time I am doing it on retired product, and the card I'm going to show you is done on product that we still have. Okay, our card base today is a little bit different. It is Lemon Lolly, and it is 5.5 this way by 6.5, scored at 4 1/4. And it folds like this, so you've just got this little front flap. You also need another piece. Now it can be the same color as this base. We'll show you my sample card. They're two different colors. Today I am using Lemon Lolly for the little card also. This small card is 4 1/4 by 6.5, and it's scored at 3 1/4, so it's a little card like this. It is going to be placed in backwards. So you're going to, just to give you an idea, it's going to be placed in like this and like this. Okay, so that's something that you'll want to think about when we're putting it together, but I'm just going to leave it like that to show you. You will need some designer series paper. This piece is 3 by 5 1/4, and it comes from the retired Floral Delight paper that was all the yellows and all the flowers. You'll recognize it probably from this. So this is retired paper that I'm using today, but it's going to go on there. And I am also using the floral and gingham vellum that went with that paper, and this is the piece I've chosen to use, and it's going to go on the front of our card like this, on the little card. So you can see how that sure changes the color of it when you're looking at the vellum like this, and then you put it on the paper. So I really like that. Inside your, oh, and I didn't tell you the size of this one, sorry, this is 3 by 4. You're also going to need a basic white piece, 3 by 4, for the inside of this little card, and it's going to be written on there. And I also have a 1/2-inch strip to go on the inside of that. Okay, now you need a greeting for the front, and today I am using the Spotlight on Nature dies, which are still, they're current, still available. I am using this size. There's so many dies in this. This particular one has, I call it the dots and the dashes on it. I'm using that for the greeting, and I've already stamped my greeting, which I'll share with you in a minute. And then I am using 3 different ones, this and this. So this one with the sort of floral, and I cut it out of designer series paper. So this is from the same package of paper, and I'm using that one with this. And then I have this one, and I cut it out of this paper. Okay, and then I also used the smallest one in here, and I cut this one out. So we've got all those things to put on the front of our card. Okay, the stamp set I'm using is Notes of Spring, which was our product of the month for March, and it has nice words on it. So I'm using Happiest Birthday Wishes, and I'm using this splotchy kind of stamp, looks like this, for the background. And I'll show you what I did here. I used Lemon Lolly, and I stamped off once and stamped the splotches on the back of this. And then I used Daffodil Delight, and I used the words Happiest Birthday Wishes and stamped it on my circle like that. So that's my greeting on there. Okay, let's get rid of these out of here so that I don't complicate my life. There we go. And putting this together, fairly simple. You just have to remember that this card is backwards. So that's the only thing we have to remember. We'll bring in my silicone mat and my Tombow glue, and we'll get this put together. Now, the one thing that you need to note is this piece of designer series paper. You are going to see the other side of it when you open your card. So it has to be something that doesn't drive you crazy. And this one, out of the whole package of paper, this is the one that I liked this side the most to go with my vellum piece. So this is what I chose. I wasn't as fussy to have the blue on this side, but it's okay, it'll work out. So I'm going to glue this on, remembering that it's going to be centered just on this front flap, top and bottom and the side. So I only want glue on a portion of this designer series paper. So I'm not putting the glue on here. I'm going to put the glue on the flap. And then I know it's in the right spot, or I'm hoping it's in the right spot. So just remembering that it will go right down the edge here, which is fine, but stay in from your bottom, stay in from your side. Just like that. Okay, and then I'll glue this on. There isn't really, it's not a right or a wrong, there's no direction on this paper. So again, I'm looking at the top, the bottom, and this left side and just putting it down like that. And then you see it's no glue on here, right? Okay, so we're gonna let that sit there. We'll work on our little card. Now, I didn't bring in my sponge dauber, and I think I'll get it. I have a sponge dauber that I leave just for gluing. Now, when we're doing vellum, it's a tricky thing because glue shows through vellum usually. I'm just gonna look at my, see how I want these. I think I like it this way. This vellum does have a right and a wrong side. You'll see the wrong side is just duller looking than this side. This side has a nice finish on it. So I'm going to turn it to the back. I'm also going to take my little piece here and turn it to the back, and I'm going to put glue on. So what I do is I just use my white Tombow glue, if I can get it to squirt out. Just using this, and it worked perfectly. Now, of course, it's not working. It's my usual MO with this glue. Sorry. Give it another go with my, there we go. Come on. Honestly, you guys are going to think this is terrible, but I just don't know why mine clogs up so much. Okay, I think that's enough glue there. I will just put it to the side and hope I can get it to work. And then I just take my sponge dauber. Again, this is a dedicated one that I use just for gluing. And I just put the glue on it like that. And then I just, whoops, I just kind of swirl the glue on here, making sure that you're getting it all the places that you want it, because you want the edges to stick down, and this will not show through. This is the only other way that I found that is another way to use to attach it is to put it on put it on an adhesive sheet. That does work too. And if you can hide it behind flowers, that also works. I just usually do this and it's fine. I will also do it on my little piece here. Make sure that you get glue all over so that you've got it so that it'll stick down. And I just put that to the side. I'm going to put this on here. This is my little 1/2 inch strip that I want on the inside of my card, and I'm just going to place it on here like that. Okay, and then we want this vellum piece. Remember, this card is backwards, so it's going to open like that. So this is the front. So that's, you just have to kind of get your head around that, because it does make it a little, you have to get it in your head that it's backwards. So there you go. And you can't see the glue through here, so that worked out good. So there's the card. Now, I don't have anything written on the inside of this, so I think I'm going to put it on with my Stamp and Seal. And I will just put a little piece of glue runner. You can just see it there. And then I can pull it off if I want to stamp something on this. Remember that this white piece is 3 by 4, and then I've just got the little 1/2 inch strip there. Okay, so it's loose. I can twist it off of there if I want to stamp on it. Okay, I'm just going to get my bone folder, because I want this to lay a little bit flatter. So I will burnish the edge of it again, like that. Okay, I'm going to move my silicone mat, because remember it's got glue on it there. Okay, and then placing this card on your main card here. What I did is I wanted it to be just, you can decide how much you want it over. You can center it a bit more if you like the look of this and this being even. That's a good way to do it. And then all I did, that's where I want it. I just opened the card like this, and I just put my glue on here. Let's hope I can get this glue to work, seeing I'm holding this down. So I just put the glue on this, and it's not cooperating again. I think I might have to just go back to using a glue runner, because I'm sure struggling with this glue, and it always seems on my videos with you guys, that's when I'm struggling with my glue. Sorry about that. Now, I'm just going to close this carefully. Get rid of my pin here. Close this carefully, and I'll turn it back over so that I can look at it and make sure it's straight, because that glue allows me a little time to work. So now I've just glued it there. Okay, so we'll just let that sit for a second. And my planning for this was happiest birthday wishes would go on here, and you can have this overlapping over here, because this, as long as it fits in your envelope, you can do it any way you like. So I may do that. I may have that sticking over the little card that way. And then I want to put these in some kind of fashion underneath here. And I might just do it like that. Just kind of a fun way when you see these little circles. So this I'm going to put up on dimensionals. So I'm going to turn it over, and I thought I brought my dimensionals over. I guess I didn't. Let me go find them. They're here somewhere. Isn't it funny how you lose things on your desk and you can't find them? Well, here's a partial package. That'll work. Okay, I'm going to put my dimensionals, just if I'm hanging it over the edge, make sure you don't have a dimensional there. So there, and I will go in here a little bit, and then one on the bottom. Sorry, I'm out of frame here, and I'll do one more over here. Okay, so that should be fine, just as long as your dimensional isn't showing. That's good. Now you will see the other side of this circle when you open this little card up, but that's okay too. Okay, so happiest birthday wishes, and I'm going to put it over here. Just make sure that my dimensional doesn't show. Make sure that's straight. I think that looks good. And then I'm going to place these underneath. And I think, now, you can't have anything overlapping that edge because you want to open your card, right? So I will just glue all these down. These just get tucked underneath. And now my glue is working. Thank goodness. Now, I'm looking at this gingham and I'm thinking I want it sort of that way. Okay, and then I'm going to put these, one there and one here, like that. You can overlap them. I like the look of that. So this is a good way to use your designer series paper and have a little fun with it. That, and this one going on to the back here. Okay, like that. And I strategically cut that one out so I'd get a flower out of that. That worked out good. So that's the way it looks, kind of a fun look with the circles. Opens like this, and you do your writing here. Now, you could have added more designer series paper down this piece or along the back. That would have looked nice too. And that's just the way it looks. So that's our finished card, except for any embellishments that you wanted to put on it. I did bring in I said I was going to use something from the last chance list. This is rainbow adhesive back dots. They're still on the last chance list for $9.80. There is lemon lolly in here, and I thought, do I want to use that lemon lolly on here? Or I brought in, these are retired already. This is the low profile sparkle dots. Now they have yellow and they also have the green. So I thought of them, but I think I will go ahead and use these because of the lemon lolly. And you can see I haven't used too many of them, so I'm going to use these. And I'm just thinking, where do I want to put them? That's my whole issue, I think. I think I'll put the big one right here and a couple of small ones. Where do I want those small ones to be? How about down here? Okay, and there we go. There. All right, so there's our embellishments for that. And that is a really, I think, a really springy, happy card. And just a little different. It does stand, because you know me, I like cards that stand. It does stand up on its own, so that's good. So there's that. I will show you my sample, which I made from the lovely and beautiful paper. This is my sample here that I did. So this paper is still current. Opens like this and like this. And it's done, you can see I did a white card base here, and I used petal pink for this one just to give it a little different look. So it looks a little different. So that's, I'm calling this a double flap card. I don't know, it could have some other kind of name. I'm sure it probably does, but that's what I'm calling that one. So that's our card for today. I hope you enjoyed that. And if you did, I sure appreciate your thumbs up, and I sure appreciate any comments that you send my way. All right, hope everybody has a great week.